What up, Wastelanders? Christopher here, Gaslands NorCal. Thanks for joining me once again for another conversion video. This time, I'm just doing something that I kind of feel like doing. Haven't done one of these Erikstein rod things for a while and figured, you know, what the hell, I'll do another one. Got this piece from a tractor. I think I used the treads or something on one build or another. Gonna kind of get it all chopped up and put together, so it's looking something like that. Some big ass tires going for the back. Haven't figured out which ones I'm going to do on the front. Maybe some missile launcher and just really cool ram coming from Warlock 3D and a big engine from Angel of Combustion. So yeah, everybody's going to get a chance to play on this one. So yeah, let's get this baby all taken apart. We'll start going ahead with it. Haven't really figured out any colors or anything yet. Just going to see what strikes me, see what talks to me. But yeah, first of all, let's get it apart and we will get her into the stripper. Alright, so we are all stripped and I got the little pieces all glued together and everything, so it's looking kind of Frankenstein more than Erikstein or Ehrenstein or whatever Stein it's going to be. Got the wheels and weapons and everything all painted up, ready to go. Add a lot more to this. It's just what I've got so far. Thinking about coloring and what I want to paint this as, and knowing that I want to have, you know, a lot of rust and corrosion and weathering and everything else, so that's really going to change what color I'm going to choose, because if you choose a darker color, the rust really won't show up as quite as well as if you pick a lighter color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using this bright yellow-green from Monument Hobbies, of course. Gonna get this all sprayed up, and then I'm gonna dose it with the Agrax, but I'm not gonna wipe it off. I'm just gonna let it sit and take on that darker color that the Agrax is gonna show. So let's get this all painted up with the bright yellow-green, and then we'll Agrax it, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's all done. So yeah, let's get this painted up. Alright, so we're all Agraxed up and everything. I'm going to let it dry a little bit, and then I am going to just sort of brush off kind of the areas where it's kind of soaked up a little bit more, and that will give a different kind of effect. I'll show you once it gets done, but you have to let it dry for a little bit to pool up, and then it's hard to describe the effect. It'll be easier when I show you. So I'm going to let it dry, and then I'll dab it out, and then I'll show you what it looks like when everything's all said and done. So let's let this dry for a while. Alright, well, it didn't turn out quite like I was hoping. Didn't have the effect that I was going for. Usually it gets kind of like that, even more so, where it's kind of speckled and everything. It looks really cool with the weathering. Didn't turn out quite like I was hoping, but, you know, that's kind of the way it turns out sometimes. To be honest, this is not, you know, going exactly like I wanted, but you know what? I'm going to reserve judgment until we get all said and done. I got some really cool bits and pieces I'm going to put on there, so let's start getting it all together. I've got some really cool wheels to put on there, some really cool exhausts I got from Angel of Combustion, some new stuff he's trying out that just looks totally awesome. So let's get some of the detail work and stuff on there. I got some of the pistons and the piping and stuff going on. So I'll get all those painted up in silver and get a little more of the detail stuff on there before I really, you know, like I said, weigh in judgment on this thing and, you know, say whether I really like it or not. So let's get it all painted up with the detail stuff, and then we'll kind of see where we're at from there, and then, yeah, we'll see what's next, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so we kind of jumped the gun and just did a bunch of stuff. Threw a bunch of stuff on there, got some weapons and armor, and got the RAM and the engine and everything in there, the wheels and stuff. Getting there, looking better, still, you know, not my 100% favorite build. Next, we're going to be putting on the exhaust. Actually, first, let's do the weathering, some weathering on it, and then we'll put the exhaust. Loving this exhaust, very DACA. I guess that's the phrase the kids are using now. But yeah, it's going to go something like that. Adding some more, just some more character and stuff to it. Just kind of throwing things on here, see what's going to stick. Still not 100% my favorite build, but it's getting there. It's, you know, it's not terrible. It's not one I would throw away, but not my favorite. But yeah, let's get a little more of the detail on there. We'll get the exhaust on there, and we'll see how it's looking, and yeah, we'll go from there. We'll see. Alright, so it's all weathered up, and it's getting there, looking different. Like I said, not my favorite, but you know what, sometimes that happens. You just gotta kind of keep plugging along. If get too much invested into it and say, you know, what the hell, they're not all gonna be perfect or look great, and some of them are just gonna look the way they're gonna look. So a few more things we're gonna throw on here. Got a fuel tank and some window coverings. Get the exhaust on there. I still do love that exhaust. Hopefully that's gonna kind of pull it out. Then we'll do a little more dusting with the AK, some more rust pieces and stuff, and we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, it's definitely a Frankenstein thing. So yeah, let's keep getting it all together, and we'll see where we wind up. Yeah. All right. So yeah, it actually I was able to kind of pull it out, I think. Adding the skulls in there for that final effect, for me anyway, it really did it. Sometimes it's just that final little thing that you put on there that just makes the build, because I was really not sure where this thing was going, what it was doing, if it was even gonna be like look good at all in any sense of a word. But yeah, I like the exhaust, the skulls. They really did it for me. They're the things that put it away and made this like, yeah, that's pretty badass. I'm liking that. It just fits in really well with the rest of the build, how kind of Frankenstein mashed together. This thing's just like a skull collector, a bone collector. Probably run this as a heavy truck with the rockets and the ram and the heavy machine gun. Probably a napalm dropper. Do this as a slime vehicle. Yeah, this thing would be table ready, table legal, everything else. So yeah, looking good. And there we are. Like I said, this thing started off questionable at best, with Erikstein rod and part of a salvaged tractor. Wasn't sure where it was going to go. Just started throwing things on there. Had a rocky start, very kind of rocky middle, but the skulls pull it out in the end. And this one is pretty cool. This one I may run for an event that I'm doing here coming up, Pink Slip event. But you know what? Yeah, overall, turned out really cool. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, do me a favor and hit that like button. My goal is to do weekly videos, whether they're terrain builds, vehicle builds, whatever. So if that's for you, please hit the sub button below and ring the bell to get notified when new content drops. I do sell all my builds pretty inexpensively on my Etsy page, so if you want to pick something up or see what else I've done, you can even request a custom build. Until next time, keep your foot on the gas and your finger on the trigger. Gaslands NorCal, signing out.